Hey yo, Adventure Brad here. Well, he said something about an excessive heat warning, 118, 120 today. I don't want to be here. I don't think you do either. I don't even think GoPro wants to be here. You leave that out in the sun, it'll... So anyways, got a little bit of camping gear, packed up saddlebags, way too much crap for one night, but we're going, so let's go.
She said I'm rusty, feel the same. She said I'll hold out to win the game. No matter how hard.
Wow, the temperature dropped a bunch right now. It was like, we started off this morning in the low 90s. I was probably into the 490s, the high 90s, and I got to the hot part. And now it's dropping down in like these little chill zones. I'm like, whoa! So yeah, pretty stoked. I don't know how well the audio is, but I hope you guys can hear me alright. Anyways, onward, not hitting the dirt. Yeah. Sprinkler lightly. Make sure I signal early, know what car, what the fuck I'm doing. Turn our ass down this dirt road, because why not? ADV, what do? We go ADV. Bike don't have low enough gears to go ADV, it's Brad style. Uh-oh. Keep her running, buddy. Alright. Ooh, there's our camp right over there. Right to the left. Oh, I can ADV this pretty good because it's so fucking low I can put my feet on the ground. Look at that. Firewood, two well-placed trees.
I think we found home. Oh yeah. Reach around in my bag here, grab my little Isle of Man foot. It came with the bike. It's pretty cool, shaped like Isle of Man TT. Put the bike in gear, make sure it turns off, don't kill the battery. Ooh, you hear the thunder crack? So I'm gonna put you guys down and hurry up and set up camp because it's gonna get wet here in a hurry. Like it right now. You know, there's just something magical about sitting in the woods, the rain sprinkling, the thunder rolling. This is pretty sweet. My boots all hung up. Sky, a little bit of sun peeking through. Yeah, not a bad day. I'm gonna munch on some jerky here, gulp down water. I don't know, take a nap, go for a walk. I just stare at the sun. Who knows? That's a fun bit about camping and wandering and relaxing. Alright, yeah, look at this. Got a little campfire ambiance going. I think I'm pretty sure I got deer blood on my head from the mosquito that just bit me. Got out here on our trusty ADV steed. Look at that thing. Yeah. You don't know what it's like to, go out cruising hardcore. I think what we got going on here is somewhere between a full millennial with the hammock set up and easy rider running with the American flag bandana, and the cruiser out here on the dirt. So anyway, so it's drying because it's got moisture bead things in it that I soak for the heat. So anyways, yeah, this is camp. We're all set up here. This is my first time trying this setup. I used to hammock camp back in the day in the summertime, but now that they got this whole underquilt thing, I think, figured out, I'm pretty stoked to try it. So I'm gonna try the underquilt tonight, see how I do. I got my old sleeping bag for a top blanket quilt thing. Yeah, it's one of these cool bug netty things. I got my tarp up. A couple of things I've done differently, just because I can't leave nothing alone, is one, the clothesline. That's kind of old hat for me. I did forget my clips, which make it nice to hang your socks and stuff out. Those are actually tonight's socks to put on. I want them at hand. But when you're trying to dry clothes, washing them and stuff like that, funkiness, whatever, it's nice to have a clothesline. You're a hero with one. So first off, how people do the double-ended sack. I kind of did the same thing for my tarpaulin, but this didn't come with a double-ended sack, and I'm cheap and ghetto, so I just stuck a grommet in there. And I don't know how well you guys could see, but inside of there is one of those little, just like this, spring clippy things I stuck on here. So right now my span between the trees is pretty close. It's like right on borderline, too close to what I need. And my persicks are a bit too long. I can take them about half, take them down to here, and that would give me that last little bit of tension I need, because I'm actually out of room with my setup. But anyways, I did that so I could leave this on the line, so I could just undo that end. On this end, I got one of these particle, I think that's what it's called, little thing you just push on it and pull, little friction cam over center device thing. I have those everywhere, and actually I need to add one to this line, my daisy chain. So I just got a bunch of loops tied in here. You could use toggles, you could knot the little loop. This is my state bag. If I didn't have this up, I could actually have it over there in my tarpaulin bag up there. So that helps a bunch. And it's best to have this as far up in the way as you can, so it doesn't affect your hang. The pretentious millennial word. Yep, and go ahead and blow up the comments for that. I don't care. And yeah, but that gives me another line down nice and low. Like I said, I'm gonna add a particle to it. This hangs up here real nice. Oh, look at this. I'll show you the type of road that we're on. These are who I pretty much see down here. It's just little side-by-sides. It's all that comes down here. You know, everyone stopped camping way back there, and I don't like camp by nobody else. I just kept coming. I figure worst come to worst, I don't know, make it a tricycle if the roads get too muddy. Because it has been raining, it has been raining tonight. That's also why everything is underneath there, to keep it all out of any potential rain. This is my new Stanley on the go French press. Trying that out. Well, it's not new. I've been using it to take coffee to work without the pressy bit for a while, and it's super duper thermostat. It's almost a little too much, because down there it's to fucking 100 degrees. Anyways, yeah, just chilling at camp. The other thing that I've done is I found a stake. But if you go over to the stakes, it came with these, my tarp came with these cheap triangle style stakes. And I just went out the end. They came with a little orange reflective loop. I came out the end, tied a loop on the end of it. You could either hook that around something, noose it around something, use it as a normal stake, and just ignore the loop on the end. I like doing my rock like that, because then whatever load has to kind of bounce the rock up first. Adds a little shockiness. So, ooh, let's throw something on the fire while it's doing this smoldery thing. Tend the fire, tend the fire. Dun-dun-dun. Even though I am hammock camping off the motorcycle, I've afforded myself such luxuries as this little Gerber saw, which is just, yeah, everything. So the other sweet way to tie that off is, you see the little loop? You just take the loop, run it back, and as you do the loop generous size, but do it so the loop, when laid next to the stake, only comes to about here, can't reach over the end. So that way when you back the line back through here, back the knot back away, you can put it over here, put it over around something small, pull the knot back up tight, pull it tight, and pull it up. And I love these little plasticky doodads, the little friction things. They work awesome for tensioning. And it came with these little steel carabiners, which work pretty good. The grommet's kind of redundant. I actually wish it didn't have the grommet, because then it would tear stuff up, or it tears the tarp up more. I'm not a big weight thing, so I'm more worried about tearing the tarp up. But as you can see, I've doubled this one up. That loop goes here. If I think the rain passes a little sooner, or it's mainly the wind, I had this side down, I'll put my stick back in this side on this corner, prop it up, loosen this toggle. I don't even have to move that stake. This one, I could either move the stake or move it back into the finger toggle mode somewhere low on this sapling. When you guys use trees, don't use anything smaller than this, and keep it low on something small like that. You don't want to abuse trees. Excuse me. And also give a good check. That thing I'm kind of concerned about, but it's like right over my wood pile, so I'll not worry about that too much. This thing is over here, so as long as the winds don't get stupid howling, I should be fine in my tent. But you always need to look up, and then in the radius of anything of the height of where you're at, you need to make sure that there's no deadfalls. That guy's pretty short and dead right there, but yeah, you don't want to make sure anything that could reach you. Like if that guy was dead way up there, yeah, that could come right. That's capable of coming right through my tent at night. Any little widow makers like that leaner over there, yeah, avoid all that. So anyways, I'm gonna get back to making some char cloth, hanging out, relaxing. Do you guys see that? See that little cool toggliness, and just a little quick lark's head or whatever around there. The difference between, and this is where I kind of hate knots and stuff. There's only a few knots that you really need to know. That's a lark's head. If you loop it a few more times, it's a persic, which is this thing. Yeah, it's the same knot, just semantics. But anyways, that with a little toggle balances it. There's a little curve to the toggle, and the friction of the lark's head Prusik, mini Prusik, holds it straight up. And then that way I can take one and off, and then it doesn't want to just spill one. And it's a great way to keep my zapatas off the floor. And I'm gonna actually I'll throw my socks down here in a few minutes when I have two free hands. And that way you can probably stay out, and then still, regardless, tap your boots out before you put them on. I got my Blavlika, got my stove, I got dinner ready to cook up in a minute. So yeah, that sounds pretty good. I'm gonna chop some wood, and I don't know. We'll see you when we see you. Well, good morning, you rascally rabbits. Back you can't. Had a great night's sleep. I could say this millennial hammock setup. They ran their numbers and their computers, and apparently asked some old timers, because this was pretty dang comfy. Yeah, one thing, under quilt, if you reach out and stick your hand between the hammock and the quilt, you feel them together. You feel your hands slide between them, but they're not tight. So then this quilt stays open. I stayed really warm. It was only like 62 or something like that, I think, as low as my watch said. But camp pillow, I've rocked this thing for the longest time. It packs down in a little tiny bag. It makes all the difference. My sleeping bag, which is just a traditional camping style sleeping bag, gotta watch my coffee water, packs down pretty good. I actually had this kicked up at my feet most of the night. The one part that I did like, that I've been using these for a while now, but I can't highly recommend them enough, are trash bag, Brad liners, sleeping bag liners. All it is a sheet, like a household sheet, which I actually started doing. I was just taking a sheet from the house, folding it in half, putting it in my sleeping bag, just so I get a nice fresh sheet feeling, because sleeping bags are never the nicest material inside. And then two, let's be honest, we're sweaty, icky, disgusting at the end of the day from screwing around all day playing in the water. So we need somewhere to hide. I'm gonna get my coffee going real quick while we're chatting. So we need somewhere good to hide out in our sleeping bags, but our sleeping bags get all icky because we're all nasty, slimy critters all day. So by getting a sleeping bag liner and dumping that in, you don't have those issues, because when I go home, all I got to do is just wash that sleeping bag liner. It's simple. It's like a little sheet. Here, let me tripod you guys real quick. Show you what I'm doing here. You got a little container. I think this is actually one of those screws on the bottom, one of those health shake fitness blender things with a ball in it. But anyways, I just got my little measuring cup, like 2 scoops of this goodness. Look at that. And let's just dump the rest in because we're camping, right? Get that done. Then we take this over to the fire. We got our waters boiling. So get a nice spot for our mug. Get our water out. And right down in there. This thing's pretty sweet, just for that reason. Ooh, coffee, 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 coffee. Now, notice my coffee's a little far down. It should be more like right a finger's width below that crease. Why is that? Because Brad's a poor choice of the water that he uses. And I brought a gallon into camp yesterday, plus a gallon in water bottles, plus this filled up, and my little blue thing filled up. And between rehydrating myself from running, and I was drinking all day yesterday. I stopped and bought a couple of water bottles, drank them, drank teas and naked juices, and every time I stopped for gas, every 100 miles, I was gulping stuff down. Yeah, I was a little dehydrated, so we're gonna have to do more water for the run home today. But yeah, I'm down to a swig of water in there. That's why my coffee's low, because I wanted to at least have a swig of water. When I hit the highway, hit out, then we'll be fine. Barring accidents or incidents, we break down, the bike don't start. I'll hike over the hill here with my canteens and the water bottles that are in my trash bag and fill up water and boil it and then assess the situation. But cars go by here every hour, so it's not life or death. I'm not stranded in the desert, but I also do feel pretty stupid. So anyways, sleeping bag rocked. Pro tip, don't ever leave your sleeping bags in their little squish down bags. Minimal amount of time in them as possible. I even kind of push it back when I'm camping a little bit late. But I'm going to start wrapping up here, pick up everything, put it in my sleeping bags, compress everything down, run home. And then one of the first things I do when I get home, lay my gear out, and then I'll be pulling my underquilt, my top quilt out of the compression bags. Doesn't matter if you leave, you know, the tarp stuffed in, you know, these cheap nylon ones, or the hammock. But yeah, you want all the polyfill down stuff in here. You don't want to leave that collapsed. You want to open that up. Same thing with my pillow, my little camp pillow. I leave that out. So anyways, I'm getting back at it. Oh yeah, I was screwing around with a little coal, fire char or fire cloth material. I used some little strip of bed ticking that I used for my muzzle loader, and I wound that up real tight, and I put that in there, and that's just horrible. It carries no residual anything in it. So this morning I ran over to this dead tree on the other side of the bike there, dug out a bunch of punk wood and packed that down in there. So we'll let that go through breakfast here while I pack up, burn the fire down. Hopefully I'm able to pull it out before I leave. But anyways, let's go. And just because I know you guys are going to ask, this is the Ridge Outdoor Gear 360 Pinnacles lay flat hammock with the Mojave underquilt. I really do dig the setup. It's not thousands of dollars like some of the little small places are, which I don't like. Mine supporting the small businesses, but then again, people, it's only freaking fabric. It's not anything special. Whatever. This is a $35. I don't know the name of it. Maybe you guys will recognize a hand on the ad somewhere. We talked about this last night. These are the suspension straps it came with. I'm probably going to change to a cinch buckle style, but we'll see. Anyways, that's the gear.
Now look at that. Isn't that a wonderful view? A little marshy marsh. The marsh. Little windshield wiper. Yeah, so anyways, as always, thank you guys for joining along. The only reason I do these videos is because you enjoy them. That's it. The feedback and how excited you guys get, little tips that you get out of my videos. That's why I like doing them. So yeah, let me know what you like, what you don't like, so I'll keep heading in that direction and doing those things. But anyways, that's a sweet little marshy lake. And I'm Adventure Brad, and I'm out. What's that say?